Hi, I'm Jasmine Dabney. I want you to imagine this. Two sisters are arguing over a single orange, both of them insisting that they need it, and the disagreement keeps escalating. Eventually, they decide to compromise and split the orange in half. One sister takes her half, squeezes the juice, and throws away the peel. The other sister takes her half, uses the peel, and throws away the fruit. Only afterward does it become clear that one sister wanted just the juice and the other wanted just the peel. By splitting the orange, neither of them actually got what they needed. What this story shows us is that the real solution wasn't about splitting the orange at all. It was about understanding what each sister actually needed. One needed the juice, the other needed the peel. If those interests had been understood earlier, both sisters could have been fully satisfied without compromise. This is where getting to yes comes in. Fisher, Urey, and Patton introduced the idea of principled negotiation, a way to solve conflicts that doesn't leave anyone unsatisfied. Instead of just arguing over positions, principled negotiation focuses on understanding what people really need and finding creative solutions that let everyone win. Today, I'll show how this approach can turn conflicts from something as small as an orange to big workplace disagreements into opportunities for collaboration. The first principle I'll discuss is don't bargain over positions. Positions are what people say they want. I want this, or no, I want that. But positions are only the surface. They don't tell you why someone wants something. When we focus only on positions, conflicts become a tug of war. At work, two colleagues might fight over who leads a project. One wants recognition, the other wants skill development. If they just argue over positions, nobody wins. In everyday life, it could be something as simple as deciding where to eat. One person wants sushi, the other pizza. If you stop at positions, you're stuck. But if you ask why, maybe one wants comfort, the other wants to try something new, you can find a solution that everyone enjoys. Even in the classroom, two students might fight over who presents first. One is nervous, the other wants visibility. Understanding the underlying needs makes solutions obvious and satisfying for everyone. Next, we'll discuss separating the people from the problem. Conflicts often escalate because emotions get tangled in with the issue. When this happens, even small disagreements become personal attacks. At work, missed deadlines can turn into blaming colleagues. By focusing on the problem, which is what needs fixing, rather than the person, discussions stay constructive. In personal life, if a roommate forgets to do chores, saying, "You're so lazy," turns it personal. But saying, "The dishes didn't get done," focuses on the problem without hurting the relationship. Even in classrooms, separating people from the problem helps students stay engaged and collaborative. Another principle is focusing on interests, not positions. Interests are the reasons behind what someone wants, their underlying needs or concerns. The orange story is a perfect example. Both sisters wanted the orange, but for different reasons. Juice versus peel. Once you focus on interests instead of positions, solutions become obvious. One gets the juice, the other gets the peel. Everyone wins. At work, two team members arguing over a project assignment might really be trying to gain skills or recognition. In daily life, two friends arguing about weekend plans might have hidden interests. One wants relaxation, the other one social time. Identifying interests opens the door to creative solutions. Once interests are clear, you can invent options for mutual gain. This is where creativity comes in. Let's go back to the orange story. Splitting it wouldn't satisfy either sister. But when each sister gets what she really wants, they're both happy. At work, two departments fighting over a budget might combine resources for a joint project or stagger spending. In personal life, siblings might trade chores based on preference. By inventing solutions, conflicts become opportunities instead of battles. The next principle we'll discuss is insist on using objective criteria. Using objective criteria keeps negotiations fair. This means relying on standards, rules, or benchmarks instead of opinions or power. In school, a grading rubric guides discussions. At work, deadlines or industry standards prevent bias. Even at home, using agreed upon rules to split chores avoids arguments. Objective criteria make solutions clear, rational, and easier for everyone to accept. Finally, know your BATNA, the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Your BATNA is what you'll do if the negotiation doesn't work out. At work, if a project plan fails, alternatives like reassigning tasks or adjusting timelines exist. In personal life, if weekend plans fall through, having a backup plan ensures you still have a good outcome. In classrooms, if students can't agree on roles, one could join another group. Knowing your alternative gives you confidence and power and ensures you negotiate strategically rather than reactively. Principled negotiation turns conflicts into opportunities for collaboration. By separating people from problems, identifying interests, brainstorming creative solutions, using objective criteria, and understanding your BATNA, we can build trust, strengthen relationships, and reach agreements that last. And just like in the orange story, instead of splitting the orange and leaving both sisters unhappy, principled negotiation lets each sister get what she truly wants. The juice for one, the peel for the other, so that everyone wins. So the next time you face a conflict, big or small, I want you to remember the orange story. Focus on interests and look for solutions that let everyone walk away satisfied. That's the power of principled negotiation, and that's the difference it can make. Thank you.